When we talk about identifying the identity out there and then inquiring about it, I believe curiosity is another name for inquiry. But often, if we look within our conventional home setups, curiosity is often, suppressed. We are not allowed to ask questions. And somewhere or the other, I would say, get on a very different direction than we are supposed to. We don't understand things. Often, the answers that we are looking at come to us in a very different manner. They are wearing overalls which are not that very positive or not in the exact connotation to things. So, what are your thoughts around this particular thing? How can this be a navigation? How can this be navigated by individuals who at least realize that the overalls that they are exposing themselves to, it's not correct or it's not the right connotation for things?
Well, firstly, the best way to do it is to create a culture of it, But of course, as you rightly pointed out, that in our homes and also in the society in general, curiosity and asking questions is not very much appreciated.
Mhm.
Even in my schools, I would tell you that I studied from one of the best school of the city, of my city. And my teachers would complain to my parents that this child asks a lot of questions. And today the same teachers come to me to learn about life. So I tell them that, hey, because I didn't give up asking questions, I really figured out some answers of life, which are now also useful to you.
Yep.
The reason people are against questions and against curiosity, Pulkit, is that when you ask questions, you are triggering them to also question their own beliefs. Everybody around, sometime or the other in their own life, has accepted certain beliefs blindly
Mhm.
because they were unable to find answers, right? And they then started operating from those beliefs because it's comfortable. Nah? It's very difficult to live in a state of confusion. And it's very convenient to live in a state of certainty, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, the moment you ask a genuine question, they feel triggered and they
Yep.
feel, okay, this is a dangerous terrain. I
Mhm.
might again slip into the same domain of uncertainty. And probably if I chase and ponder deep on this question, I might myself realize that my entire life up till now was being lived on the wrong premise because the belief itself was, pointless,
Mhm. Mhm.
meaningless. Yeah. So this is why the best way for people to not disturb their own sense of certainty and conviction is to prevent others from asking questions. Yeah. So this is the reason why families and society in general do not encourage you to be curious.
Mhm.
While they talk of innovation and creativity, they discourage you to have curiosity, not realizing that without curiosity, there cannot be any innovation, there cannot be any creativity. Yeah. And so, if you're really curious and you want to maintain this curiosity, the best thing you can do is join such communities of people. They're
Mhm.
always such people, Usually, these people are readers. These people are those who are debating on Twitter. These people are there in some Facebook and WhatsApp groups, right? You have to find such communities. These people are also spiritual seekers.
Mhm.
I mean, there are some seekers who are not at all curious, who have blindly accepted some story of some god and something, and they are just going blindly in that direction. They are not seekers at all, according to me. They are another blind believers,
Yep.
right? But there are some people who are genuinely questioning, and you
Mhm.
need to find such people, and you will find them if you really want to, right?
Yep.
And then be with them because, like they say in India, that खरबूजे को देख के खरबूजा रंग बदलता है, right? So if you start being with such people, you would naturally start, thinking and functioning from that lens. And you would find a lot of courage to chase your curiosity. Because, if you're lonely on this path, it's a very frightening path that, hey, am I the only person who's having question?
Yep.
There are others. Is there something wrong with me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. So then you can find some courage when you find more such people and you are able to chase your questions. And in the era of social media, I think it's not at all difficult to find such people. You just post some question and you find people answering them. You
Mhm.
find such groups where such things are discussed, right? And you just actively be engaged in them,
Yep.
right? So curiosity, absolutely. I mean, the fundamental premise, the fundamental proof of you being a human being, an intelligent being, is that you are asking questions.
Yep.
If you are not curious, if you're not asking questions, you should actually question yourself. Are you even being human? Or are you just being some other species of animal, no, just accepting life the way it comes. So once people start asking questions, they will naturally start coming out of all these blind beliefs, notions, ideologies, personalities, which are the reason behind their problem and the society's all sorts of social problem. Trust me, Pulkit, if this one thing, if people just started asking questions about anything and everything, we would have a world which is 100 times better than the world we have today. Because once people really start asking questions, they would start finding answers.
Yep,
And once they start finding answers, of course, their behaviors, their actions, their creations, everything would change.
that's true.
The outcomes would change too. What we really need is a world where people ask questions, an education system where children are encouraged to ask questions.
Yep.
And I mean, I do not see my background to have supported me in asking questions. I just am one of those exceptionals, exceptional stubborn children who did not give up asking questions. That's why I realized my answers. But I truly feel unless you have a community or a culture of curiosity, you're going to be trapped in the same old idiocy and same old stupidity.
I do agree on this, Nakul. It's very difficult to, trot this path alone. And if you are able to find someone who guides you, becomes the light on your way, it becomes much, much easier to, follow through with it. I believe curiosity is a different form when we say that communication is important or communication is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship out there. But often this particular tool that's been given to specifically to humans, I don't see any other race to be able to communicate to the level that humans can, but still we use it to the least. And miscommunication often leads to a lot of troubles. We have seen a lot of world wars happening. I believe if communication would have been done, these could have been easily sorted out. Or the any major trouble that's happening right now, any major national issue as well, possibly some of them could be sorted through easy communication. What are your thoughts on, and again, there are different form of relationships that come across. Parent children relationship is there, husband wife are there, siblings are there, friendships are there, girlfriend boyfriend, hell lot of relationships, different identities that we all carry as an individual. So what are your thoughts that an individual should be following the path of communication? How should they be starting to communicate and come out of the shackles that society has, sort of put on them throughout their life, but still they want to come out? So how can they navigate this?
Indeed, communication is the cornerstone of healthy relationships. And I'll tell you from my own experience, I have taken some programs in corporates as well. And of course, in corporates, you cannot go very deep into spirituality. They are not paying you for that. They want to have a better work culture and stress less atmosphere, right? So I did some programs on some sessions on communication skills, and it changed their culture tremendously. You always talk of office politics as well. A manager and an employee or subordinate not being very happy with each other also. And while we are doing so many things about it, the real reason is bad communication. The real reason why people are getting divorced and they are having breakups is bad communication. And the real reason why people are having wars is also probably bad communication. So, a very simple philosophy people follow when they're communicating would actually solve most of their, problems and challenges which happen because of poor communication. The first step is for them to, when they are sharing their perspective, their point of view, or their request, or whatever, they have to state a situation that has happened, and not blame a person. What
Mhm,
happened?
mhm.
Pulkit, you did this, hence I'm doing this. Pulkit, you said that, so I'm doing that. Pulkit, you only promised me that day. Pulkit, you only did that. The moment I single you out, I point you out, you immediately feel attacked and you want to defend yourself. So better way is to state a situation. Pulkit, on that day we had a conversation in which we discussed this. How does this feel? This feels different, right? Oh yeah, Nakul, you're stating a fact. We had a conversation and we discussed this, right? And then you state because of this situation, because of this conversation which happened, how did you feel? I felt that you're having a lot of expectations of me. I felt that I have to do a lot of things My work is not being understood. I feel that I'm not getting the time that I really want. I feel my needs are not being heard. I feel that I'm not getting the time I really want. Just stating your feelings versus saying, Pulkit, you are not giving me time. You are not caring about me. You think I'm a slave. You're not realizing how hard I'm working.
Mhm, mhm,
Rather
mhm,
than pointing out to you, you just say, I feel I am not being heard. Now again, Pulkit is still yours. You're still listening. Okay. You're
mhm,
still sharing your feeling. You're being vulnerable. Good.
mhm,
Get to her, listen to you. Then talking about, okay, what is the request? What is the need?
mhm.
Well, I really want to have to spend quality time with you. I really want to learn more from you. I really want to work hard and grow in this organization. I
Yep.
really want to give my best in this organization. I really want to give creative suggestions and inputs. I really want to see our organization crossing all its goals and targets.
Mhm, mhm.
You're like, oh wow, Nakul, great. I mean, I'm more interested now because
Yep.
we share a common goal, right? Or I understand that you want to do something good. Nobody
Mhm.
wants to do something bad, right? They just want to feel good. If I'm saying, Pulkit, I want to be happy, would you be angry at me? I'm like, good, yeah. Even I want to be happy.
Yeah.
This is where you relate with me. And then I request you. So, Pulkit, can you please give me more time to work on this? Pulkit, can you please find out some time for us to, go out for movies together? Pulkit, can you just help me understand better how to do this work? Pulkit, can you just, assign me to a project where I can make my creativity come out? Right? Now, when you start conversing in a fashion of stating a situation, stating your feelings in that situation or because of the situation, stating your inherent needs, your demands, your desires, and then requesting the other person to understand them, to fulfill them, to consider them. You are not at all attacking the other person. You're absolutely expressing, right? But usually, what happens in all our relationships, be it at homes or at work, is the way we communicate, it feels to the other person that he's or she is being attacked. Mummy, you don't take care of me. You don't give me food. You don't cook good food for me. What is this boring food? What are you making? I mean, this is the shortcut, right?
Yep.
The shortcut makes the problem go long, right? They feel attacked. They feel not validated. They feel not appreciated. They feel that they are not understood.
Mhm.
People feel this way, then they start attacking you back. So if Vladimir Putin is saying to, let's say, the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, I guess, that, hey, I do not want these missiles to be here because I feel threatened. He said, if you put these missiles, I'll attack you.
Yep.
And of course, he would say, oh, you will attack me. You don't know who I am. I'll attack you back. Now he's, triggering his ego. And nobody wants to be belittled, right? But if he would say, hey, I want my citizens to be safe. And I feel if the NATO missiles are parked on my boundaries, there is a chance that in the future, if some aggression happens, they'll easily attack us. And we do not feel safe with the idea.
Mhm.
It's true, you might not want to attack us today. You might want to keep yourself safe, but I assure you will be safe. You're our neighbors, you're our friends, you're our well wishers. We care about you, right? But please, we request you to also care about us. And so we request that please don't let their missiles, be here. Let's figure out how can we help you and how can
Mhm.
you help us to ensure a more
Yep.
peaceful and a better climate for both the nations.
Mhm.
Well, I think the Ukrainian president would have been willing to listen. If he's saying, if Russian president saying, I want to help you create well-being for your citizens, I want to help you create financial prosperity for your citizens. As a neighbor, I want to work with you to create a better, working climate. Who would not want that?
Yep.
Everybody wants that, yeah. You want to be friends with your neighbors first, then with distant people, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because in
Totally.
a moment of emergency, it's your neighbors who take you to the hospital, not
Yeah.
a relative living in some other city,
Yes. 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 Yes.
right? So, if only a conversation would have occurred in this fashion, certainly we would not have wars. Certainly, we would not have so many breakups and divorces. Certainly, we would not have so many people leaving their jobs and these poor attrition, these attrition rates which corporates face.
Yep.
And the reason they are not there again is Pulkit because nobody teaches how to talk. Our conversation style is just picked up from our surrounding and our family, right? Like you're
Mhm.
from Delhi, Gurgaon, so you notice Delhi, Gurgaon is more like, oh, janta nahi main kaun hu. I mean,
Yes,
people
yes,
have a tendency of without offending them, but they have a tendency of showing off. You do not know who I am, and I've
totally,
seen that
totally.
they don't want to listen much.
Yes,
Not
yes,
all
yes.
of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? And as you travel to different parts of the country, you see the language changing. You travel south, you see so much sweetness. I have seen that. I'm not saying people are not sweet elsewhere.
Mhm.
You go to Rajasthan, it's more about hospitality. Oh, I'll give you this to eat, I'll give you that to eat. You have that. So, language and communication style is a product of the culture,
Mhm.
is a product of the family we've been brought up in, the schools that we've gone to.
Yep,
And sadly, everybody is functioning in a very default mode than a conscious mode about it.
surely. I totally agree on that, Nakul. And as we have an old saying that an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. That's so true.